Hi there, and welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I'm Debbie Georgiani, and I definitely expect you to show up strong for this particular episode because we're talking all about work today. That's right, all about your career. That's what we're talking about today. And you don't have to be Catholic to call in. What I'm asking today is, are you thriving in your career? Okay, there's a big difference between surviving and thriving. So are you thriving in your career? We want to know how that happened, the gratitude in your heart for that, who helped you along the way, what it has meant to you. Was prayer a part of it to help you thrive? Or are you just surviving in your career or vocation even? And I'd love to hear from you as well. And maybe you're just not even sure exactly what we're trying to tap into. Well, just call in and talk about your career. Okay, so it's real simple. And we have it all set up beautifully for you to dial in. You'll speak to Rich. He'll chat with you for a few minutes and he'll put you on hold. You'll get to listen live. And then Ace McKay will bring you up on air with us. He's our producer today, doing a wonderful job. But in order for all of this to happen and for all of us to have a robust discussion on this topic of careers, vocations, ministry, the things that you really put your effort towards each and every day, you got to call in, you got to participate. It's all about saying yes to the Holy Spirit and calling in and really growing this family so that we can all learn together as the body of Christ. It really is a beautiful experience. Will you share in it? Will you call in? That's the question. So say yes, stop what you're doing, say yes, and dial this number, 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. And the social media groups are going strong. You can drop your comments in the chats there about how you're doing in your career. Are you thriving? Are you surviving? Are you somewhere in between? We'd love to know. And Pedro will go ahead and pick up all of those comments. That'll be wonderful. Maybe you don't really have a lot of time because you're thriving so well in your career. You don't want to take a chance on jeopardizing that. So you just need to text us. Text the information to EWTN. You text the letters EWTN to 58177. You wait for our response. Then you text us your first name and you can answer the question if you're thriving in your career. And just know that message and data rates may apply. Okay, the show team is in place. Now we wait for you. That's the question we're asking on Take Two. Remember, this is your show. And tomorrow we'll be celebrating our, actually it's on the weekend is our 15-year anniversary, but we don't have a live show on the weekend. So we're celebrating tomorrow the 10 years of Take Two and the Take Two family. So we want to hear tomorrow from the Lunch Bunch and all of you on the ministry team and everybody who has been supporting Take Two and promoting Take Two all around the world. So we expect to hear from people from England, our friends in England and Sweden and Portugal and Italy and Canada. Oh, big. We got big Take Two family members in Canada. So that's tomorrow's show when you're going to weigh in on what you've learned from the Take Two family and the calls and the stories that you hear on this live radio show each and every weekday. So the question today is, are you thriving in your career? Do you really think about it for a second? If you wake up in the morning, okay, and you jump out of bed, and you just can't wait to get started with your day. You love what you do. There's a bit of a challenge and an adrenaline rush, and that just, you get that surge of energy when you think about the work that you're doing and how you're contributing and how it's productive and how it makes you feel. It builds your self-esteem. That's thriving. You thank God every day. Oh, I love what I do, Lord. I love it. That's thriving. Okay? And here's surviving. Oh, another day. Oh, how many more days until I've got, the weekend? I can't wait for time off. Maybe I'll call in sick today. That's just surviving. That's not good. You want to thrive. You really do. You want to give your very best, and you want to feel good about that, and you want it to also come back in great blessings and rewards, and in knowing that you've done something really well and you feel good about it. That's a beautiful thing when that happens. And there are a lot of people that are thriving in their careers. And I will tell you, there's a lot of people that are surviving, and they go home every night praying for a chance to move into something that really lets them just shine, and flourish and blossom and just, evolve into that beautiful person that God has created you to be. So there's so many ways to look at this. As you can tell, I'm a career coach as well, a business coach. So if you want to ask any questions about your line of work or your vocation or things that you are thinking about or discerning, feel free to call in. I'm happy to help and serve in any way I can. That's what this whole show's about. If we can't help souls, then we're missing the mark. We're not doing what we should be doing. We've got to get souls closer to God, and we've got to get souls to think about God, love God, serve God, and get back home to God, right? That's what we're all on this journey together. And as the mystical body of Christ, we can do this together when everyone participates. So I hope you're praying right now as you hear the calls come in. If you can't call yourself, be praying for all the fine folks that have stepped up in their stories. Maybe you're going to hear a story today of somebody, kind of reaching out a little bit saying, hey, I need some help here. Can somebody pray for me? I want to thrive in my career. Well, pull out your rosaries and start praying for that person. Oh, I could feel the Holy Spirit on that one. Okay, guys, prayer works, and we are the mystical body of Christ. And when we come together, there's so much we can do as this one body. So please dial in if you have something to say about this, surviving in your career, thriving in your career, looking for a new career, wondering if there's something better out there for you, please call in 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. And I'm going to post something after the show if you go to my personal Facebook page, Debbie Georgiani, I'm going to post something about discerning a career. It's really very interesting. It's a life coaching principle, but I'm going to post that on Debbie Georgiani. So follow me there. And also, don't forget to grow the family on Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. It's an extension of what we do for Stand Tall, and that's our ministry. That's our ministry, Stand Tall, and it's life coaching, and it's at standtalltoday.com. Okay, a couple open phone lines here on Take Two, so that's a little unusual. So that means that the Holy Spirit may be nudging you to call in at 833-288-3986. Are you thriving in your career? I'll be right back.
On the next Beacon of Truth, Saints' Keys to Happiness and Soulful Psalm 149.
I'm Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, and I invite you to join me for Beacon of Truth.
Marriage is for better or for worse. The young and foolish never think for worse will ever come. We enter marriage thinking our spouses are going to be the balm for all our wounds. Sometimes they are. Other times, a spouse is like the diagnosing hand pushing on your arm to see exactly where it's broken. Ouch! But the goal is your healing. Divorce statistics are often misunderstood. About 50% of people who enter marriage, they don't end up divorced. 50% of marriages end up in divorce because so many people get married and divorced multiple times. God keeps trying to heal them again and again through the person they fall in love with, but when the pain comes, they take off again. When you're facing hard times and romantic phrases feel forced, try these words: I will never leave you. That's a more profound expression of love than you could have ever uttered when you were young and infatuated. And your faithfulness is also how God will heal you. This is Chris Stefanik from RealLifeCatholic.com on EWTN Radio.
If you have the MyTuner app, you can listen to EWTN Radio's live stream. Open the MyTuner app and search EWTN.
The Global Catholic Network.
This is EWTN Radio.
Okay, I'm going to get to the phones in just a moment. Kyle from Cleveland, Ohio, you will be up first leading the discussion on if you're thriving in your career. If you'd like to join this wonderful first set of calls that have just come in to go on air with us to share with the world how they're doing in their ministry work, their vocation, their career, please call in 833-288-EWTN, 833-288-3986. And before I get to the phones, I just wanted to share this. We always share a great products that come out of EWTN Publishing. So if you want peace in this life, the Spiritual Letters of Venerable Bruno Lenteri by Father Timothy Gallagher. Discover how Venerable Bruno can help you conquer spiritual discouragement. In his treasure trove of letters to his spiritual children, you'll find straightforward, practical advice to guide you. It's available now at EWTNRC.com. And please pick up this book. Venerable Bruno Lenteri is the founder of the Oblates of the Virgin Mary. It's a fabulous book, and I really think that it's important that these kinds of resources for us that will help us understand these saints that are on the road to full canonization. It's important that we can relate to them and understand them, see what they went through. I believe, it is so interesting, his journey, Venerable Bruno, but it's important that we understand how we can apply what they went through and then use it in our lives to make our lives even better on that journey to holiness, on that journey to sainthood. Okay, so that's why you want to tap into the lives of the saints. That's the reason. Sometimes when we mention all these saints, people go, well, what does this have to do with me? It really does. They went through a lot of the same struggles as we all go through on a daily basis, including discernment, vocation, careers, jobs. So it's just really cool. So, and check out some of the other products at EWTNRC.com. Okay, to the phones we shall go. It's Kyle up first from Cleveland, Ohio, on our friends at AM 1260 The Rock. Hi, Kyle. Welcome to the program.
Hi, how are you guys doing today?
Oh, doing great. It's Thursday. I love Thursdays. You go right ahead. Go right ahead. So tell us.
You had asked about how we're growing in our careers, and I think that my career, I work as a medical helicopter pilot, and in doing so, that's brought me closer to my faith, and I am very fortunate enough to be able to be around people in their worst moments. And the thing that really kind of helps me get through that is that while everything may be hectic for them and going not as they had planned it, I am able to sit and just, without them ever knowing it, I get to say a prayer for them. And there was one distinct moment that I had that I discussed with my priest that kind of made me see how he works through us in times that we may not understand it. There was a man that he had passed away, and I was sitting there next to him. And I remember right before he passed, he looked at me and he stared at me, and then he left. And I felt very, it bothered me because I was the last vision that he had on this earth. And my priest, when I told him this, he just kind of laughed, and he said, it wasn't about you. You were just the means for him to pass. And he quoted St. Teresa. He said, Christ has no body but yours, no hands, no feet on the earth but yours. Yours are the eyes from which he looks compassion on this world. Yours are the feet which he walks to do good. Yours are the hands in which he blesses the world. He said, he didn't see you. And that kind of moved me.
Yeah, and that came from your priest?
It did.
So let me add one other thing to that, because I've however you may want to look at it, I have been next to people that have passed many times, actually, in the work that I've done in ministry, and similar thing has happened where they'll glance over and will make eye contact right before they pass. Has it occurred to you that because you made the comment that it bothered you at first? Well, let me first ask you this, Kyle. Why did it bother you?
I guess I didn't feel worthy to be the last image they had on this earth.
Right. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. So, and that's a beautiful actually feeling to have, right? Because you want them to have the most meaningful last look or encounter, right? For that person that you don't know. Okay. I understand that. But it's so, to me, it was so simple when it first started happening, because I felt the same way, Kyle, the exact same way. I was like, oh my goodness, I am their last image that they saw, right? But then it dawned on me, Kyle, you have a soul, and it was a soul connecting to a soul. It was soul to soul. It was the soul going back to soul, which is going back to God. I mean, it made complete sense, because when the first time it happened to me, I said to God, why that? Like, I don't want that person who I don't even know. I'm their last image that they see. And it wasn't it at all. It was going right to the soul. So your priest is spot on with this, going into the deeper. And that's what I love about the Byzantines, right? I love how mystical they are, because they, the Roman Catholic Church were very practical, logical, right? They're very mystical. They go into that deep soul-based part. And so I think it's perfect that this man connected from his soul to your soul.
I never viewed it like that. Thank you very much for making that connection for me.
Yeah, no, it's huge. And one other thing I just wanted to say, you are in a line of work. It is so precious, because what you said, and I just again want to add to it. You're in a line of work as a medevac helicopter pilot. And by the way, we put you in the book, Kyle. We'll be praying for always that you have safe trips, that, to pick up people and transport people. Absolutely. Because that's a very, you have to have a specialized skill to do that. And so God has definitely blessed you in that, and sounds like you're thriving well in it. So we will continue for your guardian angels to surround that helicopter. But Kyle, it's so interesting. You're meeting people when they are most vulnerable, when they are most fragile, when they are most open, because they need a Kyle there. They need a strong person there to take them to where they possibly can get well or get to safety. So you're in a line of work on the front lines there that is I think, very precious to God. And so thank you for saying yes to it. And God bless you in all your encounters. And I hope it continues to enrich your spiritual life, because that's the beauty of doing work that actually has a ministry component to it. It enriches all parties. So I hope it continues to bless you, Kyle.
Thank you so very much for that. I appreciate that greatly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you, we see the helicopter pilots all the time. We have a lot of medevac here in Arizona, because we have a lot of hospitals like all around. And when I see them take off and they go so fast, and I know that they're heading to somebody who has been in an accident or something that's happening, or somebody's stuck on a mountain somewhere or something, I'm like, wow, please, Lord, protect them. They're going fast to try and help souls. And I well up in tears, because you guys are racing against the clock, to get there and to move people. So God bless you. And we'll, just tremendous safe speed for you.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you so much. What a beautiful way to start this conversation on, are you thriving in your career? If you have something to say about this, like Kyle did, call in, share the stories of this. This is important. We just don't want you to just survive in life or in your career. We want you to thrive. That's why we call, they say all the time, even with cancer, they call them cancer survivors. I understand that. I used to get that title all the time, but we're cancer thrivers, you guys. We're living, we're breathing, we're moving. It's important that we thrive through things so that we can experience the fullness of life. Remember, Jesus said, I came for you to have life and to have it to the full. What does that mean? It means to experience everything. You just don't want to hang on and just survive. Okay, Andres, I believe you just dropped off. So did Sean. You were both. I was going to get to you next. I'm not quite sure where you guys went. We're going to double check the phones there. So Sean, call back. And Andres, call back. I believe, I think from Canada. I'd love to hear from you at 833-288 3986. That's the number to call. I was just going to get to Andres. And let me check some social media comments that are coming in. We are getting a lot of folks that are saying, not quite sure what's the difference between surviving and thriving? That's a very, okay. So I just kind of shared that a little bit. Let me go over it again from a life coaching perspective. Surviving is when you're kind of just hanging on. Think of it like that. You're hanging on. You're trying to stay afloat. You're treading water. You're trying to get through things, right? You kind of checking the box, if you will. Thriving is when you have that surge of energy and excitement and enthusiasm and motivation and all those beautiful words that show you being propelled forward and upward and just in a big way. Okay. It's a huge difference, guys. So please be thinking about that right now. And maybe say to yourself, am I surviving right now or am I thriving? And if you're just surviving, try to move it to thriving by looking at aspects of your career, vocation, or ministry that you can start tapping into and giving you that infusion of energy. Okay, so there's things you can do to move from survival to thriving. Okay, we did get Sean back, and Sean is from New Jersey. I believe it's Pittman, New Jersey on YouTube. Hi, Sean. Welcome.
Hi,
Hello.
how's it going?
It's going well, Sean. Thank you so much. What part of Jersey? Where's Pittman?
South Jersey.
Oh, you're in South Jersey. Are you near the shore?
Yeah, I'm from the Camden Diocese.
Oh, nice. That's a beautiful area. Okay, very cool. I'm from northern New Jersey, but I used to vacation down in by the shore. But go ahead, Sean, tell us about your job.
Well, right now I'm a UPS mechanic, but I mean I've had a lot of different jobs throughout my life, and I mean I can completely relate to what you're saying about the idea of surviving and thriving and survival and thrival, because I mean that's been basically the story of my life and probably most of your audience's life, because we constantly are struggling and then at times thriving towards God, and what I've come to learn, it's all about what your focus and your priorities are in life, and as if you always keep, because I believe it or not, I was actually studying to be a seminarian at one point in my life, and I left because I couldn't ever give up the idea of marriage. And right now, I'm actually currently engaged. I'm 39 years old. And I left the seminary when I was 23. 24. I would have graduated because I actually ended up becoming a teacher at Paul VI High School, and I taught religion. And I actually was engaged to get married back then, and I lost myself. And because I lost God, I completely lost myself altogether, and I became an alcoholic for over 10 years, and I completely, hit rock bottom. And it wasn't until I found this other girl, who was completely opposite of me, that she helped me to begin to rediscover my Catholic roots. And at times being with her, because we're so polar opposite in some ways, it's caused me to go into that survival mode where I lose sight of God. But then because of our deep love for each other and wanting the better life, because we both suffer from addiction, that we use that as a way, as a cross to help us strive towards the better, because we both seen the worst of each other's nature. And even at our worst natures, we've never given up on each other. And I think that type of level of commitment to each other has allowed us to thrive closer towards God. And we're not there 100% yet.
Right.
But I feel like as long as we're striving towards the right direction and we keep our focus always towards, future children and that which is good, I think we're always on the right path, even when we do lose ourselves at times.
Oh, I would agree with you. And I love how the two of you are coming together and joining together in that mission of that being hyper focused on God and what's right and being open to life and doing the right things by God. Absolutely, Sean. But one thing I just have to say, Sean, I do have to say this, and I'm not trying to diminish, especially when there's severe addiction in any way, shape, or form. But everybody in this world world has an addictive, I believe, this is my opinion now. Everybody has addictive qualities. Just look at the cell phone, Sean. I mean, we're addicted to something, whether it's the technology or sleeping or eating or watching TV or work or drugs or alcohol or gambling, or I can go on and on and on. It's the world is conditioning us to be addicted to things. Now, I believe this is just my opinion. You tell me, as a former seminarian, I believe when we turn that addiction to being addicted to God, that's when we get it right. What do you say?
That's what I used to always say. And I used to tell this to people when I was like suffering from addiction. And I used to think it's like, yeah, addiction can be a bad thing, but it can also be a spiritual strength. Because I mean, if you think of like someone like Mother Teresa, I mean, she was addicted to feeding the poor.
That's
but
right.
she used that as a gift in order to feed the poor.
That's right. That's exactly right. You're spot on. Boy, you sound like you are just on a beautiful journey. I mean, congratulations to you, Sean. That is awesome. I just have this feeling, though, that you're always going to have ministry in you. It's part of your DNA. So you never know. Down the road, maybe the diaconate or something of that nature. But Sean, you're awesome. Thank you for contributing today to Take Two. Wow, this has been so far a great show, but I need your call, 833-288-3986. I'll be right back.
This is Jerry Usher. If you missed part of today's show, catch the encore tonight at midnight Eastern or anytime at EWTN Podcast Central. Visit us at EWTN.com/radio/podcasts.
James the Less,
pardon my language,
is back for more.
I like your haircut.
He has a long way to go, but there's still hope.
You guys have so many customs.
Nuns don't date.
My world has sort of been turned upside down, and I'm starting to like it.
So you are praying.
I'm learning.
James the Less, Season 2.
Pray for us.
Streaming now at EWTN.com/James the Less.
This is a Messy Family Minute from Mike and Alicia Hernan. As moms and dads, we have a natural and grace-filled desire to lay down our lives for our children, to provide for their emotional and physical needs as best we can. Moms particularly can tend to burn ourselves out for the children, right, ladies? Lunching on leftover mac and cheese, getting up 5 times a night, cleaning endlessly. How should parents live an ordered life?
The first thing we need to remember is that there is no sacrament of parenthood. You receive the grace to be a parent through the sacrament of matrimony, through your marriage. This is how you will bring grace into your family, through celebrating your marriage. Putting your marriage first is the way to be a great parent.
Dads, sometimes you need to step in and remind your wife that she's first and foremost your beloved bride. It was God's order that you were first married, and from your love came the children. Remember, your marriage is the foundation of your family.
For encouragement and tools to strengthen your marriage and family life, visit us at messyfamilyminute.org.
I'm Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers. Join me for Beacon of Truth today at 4 p.m. Eastern.
On the next Beacon of Truth, part 1 of our God's Blueprint for Happy Life and Love and Soulful Psalm 34.
Now back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
I'm asking the question today, are you thriving in your career? And I would love for you to weigh in on this. We're having a great discussion. I think we're learning and growing together. Lots of comments are coming in, so that's good. That means everybody's very active on social media, so thanks, you guys. If you'd like to join the conversation on air so that you can get your message, your story out to the world, the number to dial is 833-288 EWTN, 833-288-3986. And I wanted just to share before we get to Dakota in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, beautiful area of the country. I love Cape Cod. Dakota, hold on, don't go anywhere. And B, from Denver, Colorado, call back. You've called back twice now. We want to get you to the front of the line because you're trying hard to get in on this conversation. We are celebrating anniversaries, and it's wonderful to celebrate anniversaries. 49 years, Father Mitch Pacwa of the campus clergy, 49 29-year anniversary for his work on campus at EWTN. Father Mitch is amazing. We are actually planning on having him in the next couple months on The Spirit World with Adam Bly, the other show that I co-host on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, produced by the Guadalupe Radio Network, heard on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network. Father Mitch is incredible. He's the best, and he speaks so well, like perfect English. Okay, let's hear what Dakota has to say in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, on our dear friends at the Station of the Cross. Hi, Dakota.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. And welcome to the program. You go right ahead. Tell us your story.
I have so many stories, to tell you the truth. Just my biggest story is just the love of Jesus and God all together, and the respect that God and Jesus shows in my life.
Yeah, I agree. No argument from me. But keep going. Tell us what else.
Oh, well, just one of the stories. I mean, the most to my heart is my grandmother raised me when I was young, and my mother was there, my stepfather. And just quickly, I moved from Connecticut to New York City, and I think God has a plan, and he takes care of us to wean us off people that we depend on, and needs us to grow and kind of be strong when it's time for them to leave. I always prayed she'd stay. But that one time, my mother said, "Come home. Your grandma's not doing well. She doesn't know anybody. She's on the edge." And I walked in the hospital room that day, and she opened her eyes, and she said, I found her. She was waiting for me to say goodbye. And I just spent the whole night holding hands. And then she said, I can't do this with you here. But I looked out the window. I said a prayer to God, and I said, you can take her now. Thank you so much that she saw all the main parts of my life. And I can't be. And I don't know if it was a pigeon or a dove, but it flew away. And it was a beautiful night.
Oh.
So just shows the love of Jesus and God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But Dakota, can I ask you, do you feel comfortable giving us your grandmother's first name? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Are you with us?
Mary.
Mary. Oh, she's named Mary. Beautiful. So you said that she helped to raise you along with your mom and your stepfather. And so you had that beautiful, intimate encounter with your grandmother, Mary, before she passed. And that's a wonderful thing, and that's a gift. Some people will say, oh, that's too painful, I can't do that. But it's actually quite a gift to have that very, amazing exchange of love before someone goes into the arms of the Lord. So let me ask you this question. What would you tell us about Mary when you were little, being raised by her? Some words of wisdom, something that your grandmother imparted to you that has always stayed with you?
My grandmother always encouraged me. She never judged me. She would never put me down. She would always see the best in me and always try. She told me she actually left her apartment to me because she said she could not go to the grave not knowing if I had a home. So I had a rough childhood. My stepfather with alcoholism and abuse. But my grandmother said, I'm going to leave this to you so you have a home and so I can rest in my grave. So it's just, I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, it's more than beautiful, Dakota. It's pure love. It's pure love. It's absolute, unconditional, caring, nurturing love from a grandmother to her grandson. She just poured out her love over you, and it has stayed with you. And that's, and the reason why I asked you the question is because I work with a lot of families that have disconnected from their parents and grandparents. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And I know, and you shared about your stepfather having the alcoholism problem. Okay, I understand that sometimes we must move away from people if they're going to be, if they're going to hurt our emotional health or, our physical being or whatever. I get that. But oftentimes it becomes this, I don't know, trending kind of, new thing in the culture to say, hey, I no longer hang out with my parents. I no longer have anything to do with my grandparents. It's very sad and it's heartbreaking. And then I hear stories like what you have shared with your grandmother. And it's like, wow, that's how it really should be. And that's where God shines. And I love that you felt so comfortable to share your personal story with us, Dakota. Thank you so very much.
Thank you all.
Yeah, you're blessed. You're blessed. You have a lot of love, and your grandmother Mary is still loving you. She's alive now more than ever. So that's a wonderful thing. God bless you, Dakota. Thank you so much. Wow, these stories that we hear, you cannot make these things up, script things, these things. These are the ability for people to bear their heart and soul with the world because they trust what we're doing here on this platform, and that is to create a safe place for us to come together as the body of Christ and share these amazing stories. Everybody has a story, you guys. Everyone has a story. I think so. Okay, let's hear what B has to say. B is definitely going to get our award, our virtual award today, because you tried, I think, 3 or 4 times, and finally you're on air with us from Denver, Colorado on the EWTN app. B, way to go. You hung in there.
Thank you. That was confusing, but I'm on. Okay. I just wanted to tell you about my life stories real quick. I have three jobs, part-time jobs, and I've always had part-time jobs because I raised 5 children. So I was very flexible to be able to have 3 jobs, and I'm very blessed. One of them is the airlines, United. Been there almost 38 years, so that's been a very big blessing because I've been able to travel the world with my children. They've seen the world, and my husband's a musician, and he's blessed with his job. He teaches over 90 students piano. So as a teacher, he doesn't make much of an income. So traveling, we love it, but we just very budgeted, and we're able to be blessed to see the world because of my airline job.
Nice.
My other part-time job is a remote accounting job. I am able to work that part-time anywhere in the world. I could be literally on a beach working my remote job. And my other job is on call with the hotel. So they call me whenever somebody's sick, and I just do front desk. And I always kid about it because I say my passengers at my airline follow me to the hotel. But customer service is a big thing. So, yeah, I'm very blessed with all my 3 jobs, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I love about your 3 jobs is it's enabled you to experience more of life, right? Like you're talking about like the airline industry. So now you get to travel and things like that. That's one of the extensions of jobs that I think is an indication that you can actually be thriving in that career when it continues, right? Just punching a clock, just showing up for work. That's not necessarily something that people will say they're thriving in their job. That's doing a work and you're getting compensated, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's always good to do meaningful work, but when you can start to create more memories and more stories, and you can continue what you do at work, and it branches into your personal life, like with the travel, I think it's brilliant. My friend was a travel agent for years, and she retired in that industry, but she continued to travel. She used to travel while she was a travel agent, and then now she travels all the time. And it was all came from her original job out of college. And it's so true. When you can continue what you do as your line of work into the world, well, now you're bringing that element, the productive work that you have done. You are now bringing that into your life, and that is clearly, that's a link to thriving. And you sound happy, B. Are you?
Yeah. Yes, we're very happy. We are just now, our kids are out of the house, and we're empty nesters, and we're just looking to retire one of these days and just continue traveling because my benefits are lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Oh, your benefits are lifetime, Lucky. That's really good. So did you, so just for fun, did you hear this? I just read this. It's hilarious because I'm an empty nester too. And I was thinking to myself, we need a new word for that. So I looked it up online and we're actually called free birds. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't. That's perfect.
Yeah. I like the whole free word.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is wonderful, B. And your husband being a musician, so obviously he filled the home with music, correct?
Yes, absolutely. He plays for church and every day he practices, so I love listening to his music. I'm not a musician, but I love listening to his music and going to his gigs. He also is in a band, and he teaches over 90 students. Most of them are Catholic homeschoolers, and once his name got in that community, boy, oh boy, it just went wildfire.
Oh, nice. And what's his first name? We want to pray for him so he can continue that ministry work.
Yes, absolutely. His name is David.
David. Tell David we love music here at Take Two. Love it. You can just talk to Ace McKay, our producer. He's always singing to us. So yeah, we love, well, music, it goes right into the soul.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Well, tell David great work he's doing, and sounds like you're just a wonderful support for all of that. And keep going, B. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Okay, before we get to our next calls, if you'd like to jump in, you still have time. We're talking about thriving in your career, or are you just surviving? Or maybe you're discerning a new career move. Let's talk about it. I think it's wonderful. I'm also going to share, I've shared this before, but we have new listeners every time we do Take Two. As a matter of fact, Take Two lately has been growing. It's just unbelievable. We're just seeing a huge growth spurt here with other areas of the country. We know that because we get the emails and they're coming in from other parts that we hadn't heard in a while. So thank you, who's ever promoting Take Two. We appreciate it. We love to grow the family. We believe in big families, so we love that. And we do have some calls coming in right now. So if you'd like to jump on this next set of calls, you still have plenty of time if you want to talk about thriving in your career or ministry work. Okay, so that's the topic today. 833-288 EWTN. It's super easy. You're going to speak to Rich. He's going to chat with you for a few minutes. He'll put you on hold. You'll get to listen live and slip right into the discussion. 833-288-3986. Fathers of Mercy. Listen to this, folks. Fathers of Mercy, catching inspiring talks from the Fathers of Mercy on EWTN Radio, featuring Father Wade Menezes, Father William Casey, and others. And these excellent parish mission and retreat talks air Sunday mornings at 4 a.m. Eastern Time, and again on Monday at midnight Eastern. If you're ever up early, I'm up early all the time. I'm always up at like 3 in the morning. 4 a.m. is a great time to catch these mission and retreat talks. And Father Wade Menezes, Father Bill Casey, amazing. I mean, you got this. You're talking the best of the best are really trying to communicate the message for all of us to grow deeper in our faith. And I talk about it all the time. Father Wade Menezes, he always says we're not eternity minded enough. And I agree with him. I'm the one who says we're not ministry minded enough. It's so true. But I always quote things. I borrow things from Father Wade Menezes all the time. Okay, we're going to get to more calls in a moment. I want to share this quick story. I've shared it before a couple years ago. But when I started, I actually have an undergraduate degree in business management, marketing, things like that. Okay. And I went into hospitality industry, and I was the youngest female manager, not just a floor manager. There's nothing wrong with floor manager, but I'm saying not just a floor manager or entry manager. I'm talking the high level management of a hotel industry. I was the youngest female ever to enter into this group of all men. I was the only female. It was really interesting when I used to go to meetings and I would be looking around and there was not a single female in the room, and it was odd at first, but I got used to it. And I was the youngest. And so the owners and the investors in the hotel industry, this group, a very high-end resort industry, still going strong in Arizona, they apparently liked my management capabilities. And so they pushed me really fast up the ladder to be, just all these responsibilities and this whole career path. And they were pushing. And I was doing pretty, I was doing good. I was hanging in there. I was really enjoying my work. I was meeting a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, and I was young. I was only 20 years old, 21. I was very young. Anyway, long story short, it was a Saturday night. I was doing a double shift, and I was in my office. I had shut the door. It was 8:00 at night, and I was all by myself in the office. There was no windows in my office because it was a hotel, and the office was actually downstairs. It was like a 3-story hotel. Anyway, I was in there in this office, and which was more like a closet. And I just said to the Lord, I can't do this anymore. I just don't, even though everything's going great, the money's coming in, they're pushing me to succeed. I can't do it. I don't feel like I'm doing something for you. And I'm trying to bring God into it. I wear my crucifix. I'm trying to bring you out onto the floor of the hotel, but it's just not doing it for me. And clear as a bell, I believe it was my guardian angel, said, pick up the phone and call the church, and the church that I attended. And at the time it was St. Timothy's in Mesa, Arizona. I remember it so clearly. And it was 8:00 at night. And I don't know if you've ever worked at a church, but the phone, nobody's answering the phone at 8:00 at night on a Saturday night. Anyway, and the Lord basically just said to me, I believe through my guardian angel, that if somebody answers, it's meant to be that you're to do ministry in the church. And sure enough, the director of religious education answered the phone at 8:00 at night, and she said, I don't know why I'm even answering this. It should have gone to the automated system. And that was it. I started in religious education. I committed verbally to her that I would show up and go for training, and that was in 1989. And here I am today, and I've never stopped in ministry. And so that's why I really believe, folks, please listen to me on this. God wants something for you. You just have to connect with God and be open. Because I honestly, when I went home and told my husband that I wanted to go do work at the church, he's like, are you crazy? You have a great job. We make great money. Are you crazy? Did something happen to you? And I said, no. You really have to be open to God, and God has something very special and unique planned for you. Just remember that. If you don't remember anything else I say today, remember that. Okay, let's hear what Mary has to say in Atlanta, Georgia. And Mary is listening on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well. I'm so glad that you called now. You go right ahead.
So I was calling today with a story of survival. I am a first-time mom, just returned to work a few months ago, and find myself just surviving in the day-to-day, trying to not fail at work and not fail at home as a mom. And my prayers lately have just been for God to help sustain me and just unite my struggles with Him on the cross, and just help me discern what He wants me to do.
Okay. So may I ask you a couple questions, because I actually work with first-time moms a lot in my life coaching work. Can I ask you, if you feel comfortable? If you don't feel comfortable, just say I'm not comfortable answering the questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have support at home, Mary?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're first time mom, and you're working, and sounds like you got a pretty, your job is, you got a lot to do at your job. Do you want to share did you share what you do for a living?
I am an accountant. I'm kind of in a hybrid position, so it's afforded me the ability to spend more time with my daughter at home, but I still find myself not being able to really be present at home or present at work.
Sure. Okay. So Mary, okay. And so so when you go to work as an accountant, I'm assuming you're leaving the house, or do you do it at home, and so is your husband taking over at that point, or like who's taking care of your little daughter?
So for the most part, I'm working at home, and my mom comes over and helps watch over her. So she relieves me of a lot of the responsibilities. But I feel like I am pulled to be spending more time with my daughter than I am.
Okay. But is your mom happy doing that position? Does she feel like she wants to contribute that way? Is she eager to do that for you?
Oh, yes. She's
Okay.
more than happy to be doing it.
Okay. And so you're married. So your husband then obviously helps you out like on the weekends and at nighttime?
Yes.
Okay. And then he has a job?
Yes, he does.
Okay. All right. And are you guys Catholic?
Yes, we both are.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. Here we go. You ready? It's super easy, Mary. Do you want to start feeling better right now?
Yes.
Okay. You got to start taking time for Mary. How much time are you taking for yourself? I'm not talking about being selfish. It's self-preservation. How much time are you taking for yourself? Be honest during the day. Are you just doing the basics like taking a shower, brushing your teeth, eating breakfast, going to work? Or are you doing a little extra for yourself just to relax?
Mainly just the basics.
Exactly, Mary. So here's what I need you to do. It can be, Mary, it's so simple. It can be as quick as 5 minutes. I need you to take 5 minutes 3 times a day just for Mary. Can you do that? 5 minutes.
Is there anything you recommend to do in those 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah. I can recommend all day long. Okay. So what you want to do, Mary, is first of all, find the things that make you happy. Like, for instance, if you were to say to me, Debbie, I need you to take 5 minutes 3 times a day. Okay. Well, the first thing that would come to mind is I would love to sit down for 5 minutes and read an article or read a little part of a book or something of that nature. I would love that. I don't have a lot of time to do that, but if you told me I had 5 minutes, I would sit and read something. So that would make me happy, right? Sometimes people will say, hey, it just makes me happy to take 5 minutes just to sit and file my nails and just, or try new makeup or do a facial, a quick mini facial or something of that nature. Some people say that. Some people say it would be great to just take 5 minutes and take a walk for 5 minutes and just walk outside for 5 minutes, Mary. 5 minutes. Some people would say it's beautiful just to take 5 minutes of daydreaming and just sit outside with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. 5 minutes. Mary, do it 3 times a day. Okay. And then ask your guardian angel to carry some of the load for you, to help you with juggling all of these duties and things that are your responsibility. Now, here's the other thing. If your mom enjoys what she's doing for you, it's ministry for her. God is blessing her. God is blessing her. Always remember that, because I had the same problem with my mom. And what I mean by that problem, I felt bad. My mother was taking care of my kids all the time when I was at the church. And one day when I came home after she was babysitting, I said, Mom, I feel so guilty. You should be out with your friends. You should be out playing golf. And she said, no, you're doing me a favor. I'm doing ministry work too. So everybody...
Sounds like my mom.
She does? Yeah, well, you got a great mom. You have a great mom. Your mom reminds me of my mom. Yeah, you have a great mom. So take advantage of that in the beauty of the blessings of that, Mary. But here's the thing, sweetheart. You've got to take care of Mary. I can't stress it enough. If you don't, Mary will be hurting and you'll be breaking down. And that's not going to be healthy for you, your family, your life, your marriage, your daughter. So don't feel guilty about taking a little bit of time for you. And if you do it throughout the day, see, here's the problem. Some people just do it on the weekends, or some people do it once a week. Oh, I'll go out with a friend for a couple hours, and that's a lot of time. If you just did 5 minutes 3 times a day, every day, you would feel, it would sustain you. You would feel fulfilled. Okay, so that would be my first suggestion. Then also talk to your any doctor or therapist that could maybe help you in other areas if there's a need there. But I can assure you, Mary, you're not alone. A lot of first-time moms who are working feel the same way. Okay? I hope that helps you hear the music. Does that work for now?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetheart. You take care. God bless you, honey. All right, what a great show today. Amazing show. I think we really, all of us contributed. Thank you for the prayers. Mary, if you're still listening, prayers are going for you and your family right now from the Take Two family. Wow, you guys are amazing. Thank you to the show team. Thank you to the affiliates. Tomorrow we're celebrating 10 years of Take Two. Wow, and Jerry Usher will be back tomorrow. Until then, have a beautiful and blessed day. We'll see you real soon.
Celebrating Father's Day weekend with a little imagination at Podcast Central.
And he is just so witty and quick about just giving him an answer, but not telling him anything.
As Americans, we have this idea that our birthright is